In the small and picturesque city of Carmel-by-the-Sea, there are several big issues. What to do about a new police station, how to implement the state housing mandate, street addresses, and concerns over the budget. 3 of the 5 candidates for city council agreed to talk to us about their plans if elected. Bob Delves worked in the software industry and was the mayor of a small town in Colorado before moving to town. He also served 4 years on the Carmel Planning Commission and says getting a new police station built is priority number 1.
This conversation on the police station is at least 7 years old, and I think it's more like 20 years old. I did a tour with the police chief 2 weeks ago, and the state of our police department is it's an embarrassment.
Hans Buder is the Forest and Beach Commissioner. He also runs a social impact investment fund and a nonprofit aimed at helping low-income people find housing. Buder wants a new police station, but has concerns with the city's recent decision to only explore the option of a remodel.
In my opinion, I'd prefer something net new, but at a minimum, I would have wanted to see both of those, comparisons, and certainly keep it in the same location.
David O'Neill, a realtor and volunteer with the police force, says the city has to walk a fine line when it comes to cost.
There's a lot of respect and appreciation that our community has for the police department. And so we want to really do what we need to do for them. But we need to be realistic about it, because on top of doing this great new police station for them, we have to be able to plan for paying for the retirement benefits for all of our retired people that we've already made commitments to.
The city has a $43 million yearly budget, but only has $31 million in revenue. Delves is troubled by the financial strain facing the city.
We have not had city councils with a lot of deep financial acumen, so that's part of my motivation to get involved, is just to make sure we have that skill set. But I think it's just to provide a level of scrutiny.
The state housing mandate is also looming. The city had their housing plan of 349 units approved by the state, just narrowly meeting the deadline. Causing pushback, though, is the part of the plan that calls for 149 low and very low income units to be built on city-owned parking lots.
The city's plan was to essentially take most of the low and very low income units and put them on a couple of sites without any market rate units. And, I didn't think that was maybe the best idea for the city and potentially for those residents. And so, working on a different solution there is important to me.
Well, I think we really jumped into trying to figure out what to do quickly so that we would be in compliance. And I respect that. I think that was the right thing to do. I think we should have been pushing back with John Laird and Don Addis to represent us, to get different rules for us specifically so that we could be successful.
If we can find ways to allow more people to live in our community, especially families, younger families, I'm all for it. That said, I think the one-size-fits-all unfunded state mandate that we're dealing with right now is very heavy-handed on the part of Sacramento.
Another issue, more unique to the city of Carmel-by-the-Sea, is also creating waves. It has to do with street addresses, something the city has never had. Buder says he understands the need for them. He's had to call 911 for his wife. She's okay now, but the address issue delayed emergency response.
But that's always stuck with me. And so I do think that we need to, change some things to accommodate some of the problems that people are having. I love the kind of idiosyncrasies of Carmel. I love the little traditions. I love the fact you drive down the road and there's a tree in the middle of the street. But people have raised some real, concerns about the current situation.
The matter will ultimately be decided by voters in 2025, but whoever is elected will have public meetings to oversee. And if it passes, new plans will need to be made.
We have to remember that when you try to change something, turn on a new system, you have to turn off the old one. And that's costly, and I want to understand the specifics of that before we make a decision.
We're a community divided over this topic. I come from a house divided. My husband and I have different perspectives. He wants to have house numbers and I don't, or vice versa, I can't remember. But anyway, the point is that we need to get a consensus about this.
Plenty to consider for a fresh face on City Council. Paul Dudley, KSBW Action News 8.